Hello guys! Alright, WordPress 7.0 is here. We can finally connect AI to our WordPress. But is that actually so good? Let us actually take a look at that. So I went through now the latest updates of WordPress 7.0 with the AI connectors and what you can do with this. So it's basically a centralized hub where you can connect at the moment 3 different AI providers. Let me show you. So as you can see in here, we have Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. And basically what I understood from the documentation is that it centralizes the way applications can speak with these different AI providers. They do have already now some features built into WordPress that you can do. So image generation, for example. You can work with regeneration of titles and a couple of other things I will show you soon. So you can see that the excerpt, we have the image generation, and that of course only supports various different AI providers. So if you have Anthropic, for example, they do not support image generation, so that wouldn't work. But if you use OpenAI, you could. Now let's actually jump in here. So if you, for example, now connect Anthropic to this, what can you do? If you jump to the AI page here, you see that you have a couple of different options that you could work with. So content classification, resizing, excerpt generation, alt text generation, meta description, editorial notes, editorial updates, content summarization, and title generation. So how could this benefit you if you are now working on your website, publishing pages, publishing posts? And does it actually give you that much? So I actually tested this on my own website here, as I mentioned. I mean, if you regenerate titles, for example, we don't have any way to impact how it should actually rewrite this. It changes, for example, now also the structure of the capitalization, which it didn't recognize from here. So I would say it's quite rigid at the moment, not as flexible to actually give it the context that you want to do. If you have, for example, rank math or Yoast SEO, you know that you already have these features before, like this. Or if you are, for example, a customer on WP SEO AI, our plugin, then you know that our tool will already take care of this for you on any given post that you create. So if I would, for example, jump into this one, it doesn't only like fully write the content for you. Now I did some experiments here before with our latest image generation, so apologies for that. But essentially here you already have everything. So the title is correct, we have the meta description, the slug, we have the excerpt, we have the image as you saw, and we already have this in content editor that gives you a lot of flexibility, including giving it context. So, okay, let's keep looking here actually, because now we have this new function that gives you 3 options: shorten, expand, rephrase. And if I click, we still have the same issue. We can't really impact the prompt behind this. Not what I'm aware of yet. So it gives you this, super cool. We could do the same thing with our. So yes, all of these pre-existing functionalities also live behind a locked prompt. But that's also why you should have the option to give it context if you want to customize this yourself. But going back to this as well, like, do I see that this is a useful feature right now? Maybe not. Depends. I mean, if you think about the content generation flow, how it looks like normally, you first need to do the research. What type of content should you create? Then you need to have a structure on how to create this content. So it's not only you have a keyword, you generate the content, but you also need to have a thought behind the content that you create. It's a workflow to create a new post. And let's take all of the plugins and functionalities from WordPress aside for a moment and talk about how you create content using LLMs directly within the interface. You usually have an idea, maybe even keywords, or you ask it to do some research. Then you come up with the idea, you ask the AI to then generate a decent outline that you can work back and forth with, and then eventually it creates the content for you. Now, when that is all done, when you have completed all of the revisions and refinement, then you still need to copy it over to WordPress or whatever CMS system that you use, which means that you come to this post page, you add your post, Now, you need to have everything prepared. So the title, the content. Now, we don't have anything here, which means that we would essentially need to generate this, which is one of the features that you could now do with this. But you could also do it before with Rank Math or Yoast. So there's nothing really new here. And I would see like our tool is a complete workflow. So you have all of the data that you base all of your content strategies upon. You then have a flow where it creates the ideas, generates the content, all of the necessary SEO metadata. So excerpt, meta, title, slug. If you add the thumbnail, you add the alt text, all of these necessities. And you don't have to lift a finger. The system takes care of this for you. So I would say that the AI foundation of WordPress is an interesting decision to move closer towards having AI living in your website. I know many other CMS systems out there already have various different AI features, but when it comes to the content generation pipeline, you need to have the research, creation, analysis, measuring, and then optimization path. So you need to think about the full circle here. So nice updates. I will say that I am curious to see where this is gonna go in the future. I think that when the day comes where you can actually make the connection directly from Claude or ChatGPT and then interactively create content instantly, which also maps correctly into your WordPress, that would be amazing. And for some of you tech geniuses out there, I know that it's already possible, but not to the general public, because you can build all of these connections. You can set up a system that have these MCP connectors, but for the normal everyday person that only wants to make a connection and then start working, it's not really possible yet, aren't it? So let's be honest, cool update, interesting to see where this takes us, but super interesting to hear your opinions about all of this. Take care.